Will owning a BMW stop you from dying in a car crash? No. Well, a BMW might be a little bit stronger, might protect you a little bit more, but not if a semi-trailer drives over the top of you. See, more possessions, better possessions, don't protect you from the thing that really matters, death. This guy was worried, if I just have some more possessions, if I just have another investment unit, if I just have a second degree, if I just have a better car, I'll be able to relax, I'll be secure. But none of those things stopped death. I was standing in the Commonwealth Bank last year, and I came across this brochure, right? Now banks, right, they use subtle, sophisticated advertising, right? They want to just kind of lull you into a false sense of security. I was reading this brochure, I almost had a heart attack. I just could not believe it. Because it was so brutal. And because I read it in the bank. Listen to this, it's amazing. Here's what the brochure said. This is it, word for word, right? It had 3 sections. It said 3 sections. No, 4 sections. Income protection. Is a Commonwealth Bank brochure. Which bank? Income protection. It said, did you know that 1 in 3 Australians will be off work for at least 3 months during their working life due to illness or injury? This is not so good. Trauma recovery. Did you know that males have a 2 in 5 chance and females a 1 in 4 chance of suffering a critical illness between the age of 30 and 64? So 2 in 5 males. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of you 5 guys between the ages of 30 and 64 are going to have a critical illness. Sorry. That's right, 1 in 4 girls. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 of you 4 girls between the ages of 30 and 64 are going to have a serious, critical illness. Total and permanent disability cover. Did you know that approximately 40,000 Australians suffer a stroke each year? With strokes being the leading cause of disability in adults. And they've got all the institutions that they got these facts from. This is in the bank. Oh, changed my day. Life care. Did you know that the leading cause of death for Australians is cardiovascular disease, heart, stroke and blood vessel disease, at 39%. So 39% of Australians die because of a heart problem, followed by the other 30% dying from cancer. Will having an iPhone protect you from any of those things? Is there an app? Oh, stop cancer! That's what I needed. Woo! Oh, I'm glad that came out yesterday because my doctor just told me I've got 3 weeks to live. Lucky Blueberry's got one. No, Blackberry. See, the brutal fact is our death is inevitable. And we plan for our retirements. We plan for when we finish work. We put away money in superannuation. We plan and buy investment units. We plan for our education. People spend 4 years at uni, not to earn money, but to give money away, because they're planning for the next 30 years of work. We plan and 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 we plan. But have you made an ultimate plan? See, the thing that is most certain in this world is that you're going to die. And most of us don't plan for it. That's crazy. So we plan for lots of things that are uncertain, but we don't plan for the most important thing, the fact that we'll all die. What is your post-retirement plan? Some of you probably won't even get to retirement and you'll die. I'm just speaking for Australia because I haven't done statistics for other nations, but the crude death rate is 1%. Now that means it doesn't take into account age, and it doesn't take into account, because you know, more people who are either young or old generally die than healthy people in their prime like you guys. But the crude death rate is 1%. So how many people here? 60 people? 50 people? That means You know, there's a chance here, 1% a year, sorry, I didn't say 1% a year. So if you have a group of 100 people, now chances are one of them will be dead within a year. Now that's, you know, assuming you're across all the age groups. But if you're not, the percentage is probably like 0.5%. So if you're 100 people, even if you're all healthy, one in that 200, or half a person in that 100, how do you have half a person die? Anyway, it's going to die that year. See what the problem is? Sentence 21. Jesus says this. This is how it will be with anyone who stores up things for himself, but is not rich towards God. Jesus is talking about money. But he's not just talking about money, he's talking about your life. If you live for things in this world, you will suddenly be caught out. And suddenly you'll have to stand before God and you'll be in big trouble. And it doesn't matter when you turn up with God with a suitcase full of possessions. You won't turn up with God with a suitcase full of possessions because naked you were born and naked you will die. And you'll turn up to God having left everything behind, and none of it will help you when you stand before God. And God will want to know, have you honoured me as your Creator? Have you been rich towards me? Did you recognise the fact that I'm your Creator and I gave life to you, and your life was meant to be lived knowing and honouring me? I.e., have you been rich towards me? Have I, your Creator, been the thing that you thought about when you got up in the morning? Or did you think about your shares? Have I, your Creator, been the one that you prayed about and worried about? Or did you only pray when the share prices went down? Have I, your Creator, been the one that's filled your dreams and hopes for the people you know, that you actually worried about them coming to know me? See, our society has a problem. We think that life consists in the abundance of its possessions. Let me prove it to you. Watch the news tonight. The swine flu, right, is, maybe spreading. A pandemic going across lots of nations. Do you know what shares have gone up? Biomedical shares. Companies that produce influenza shots and flu shots. See, people, we all love everyone. We really care about other people in the street, as long as I can make some money at the same time. See, people maybe are dying and we're worried, oh, that's a good chance to buy that share because it'll go up. Because people need flu shots now. That's what we're like as human beings. Now what we need to be like is to hand over our whole life to God, to be rich towards God. So let me conclude. Life is more than possessions. More possessions, more degrees, more privilege, more status will not stop death. You will die. You're just a tourist here. You're just a tourist here, and there is an eternity at stake. A place that you will live forever. And it's either with God or without Him. And if you've been rich towards God, then I'll be with you. But if you have dishonoured God, it will be without you. Have you planned for your post-retirement